Hi Flosstube, I'm Morgan for those of you who are new here. You can find me on Instagram and on Flosstube under Honeybee Stitcher, but thanks for coming and clicking on my video and hanging out with me for another update. I'm probably not going to be as, am I even as this in most videos? I don't know, but I have a migraine incoming, so I really wanted to film this weekend. It's probably the only time I'm going to get in the next little bit. So I'm going to try and push through and get this done as quickly as I can, but apologies in advance if my eyes start going cross-eyed because it's already starting. But hello, hi, welcome. I hope everyone's been well since my last update. Been busy, had a wedding, not mine, had a few dance competitions. I think they've been since my last video. At a hen's, bridal shower, we've had all this stuff that's been happening. Have a very busy day tomorrow for our Sunday, so I'm just trying to take it easy today to ease into it, because then again it's just going to be a hectic next few weeks. But I'm here with a little bit of progress on a few things, probably more progress than I've had, more projects than I've had in a little while, so that's exciting. I'm gonna come to you first with a book recommendation, if I may. I appreciate this community so much for all the book recommendations, and here's looking at you, Jordan at Tattooed Stitcher, for ruining my soul with book recommendations. But this is my current read. It's The Girl Who Fell from the Sky, which is written by Emma Carey. Emma is Australian. She grew up in Canberra and now lives in Queensland. As you can see from the cover, and like the color of it is a ray of positivity. But she fell from the plane on a skydiving incident where her parachute did not explode, engage. So this explores that. I have followed Emma on Instagram for years. She's just an incredibly beautiful person, and not just appearance, like everything, just her positive outlook and everything like that. She is a walking paraplegic. I started following her when she actually started going through all this other health stuff. So it's been quite a journey to watch Emma in the best way, but no matter what, you can't help but look at Emma and just see happiness and radiance and positivity and sunshine, I guess. She was doing this thing for a while. She hasn't done it in a long time, but where was she? I'm sure she does in her personal life, but not on Instagram. She would never miss a sunset and a sunrise, and then would call all of them a banger. So it's kind of become a thing, I think, just in general, like in Australia and mainly in like surf towns and surf coasts, like being like, what a banger. But I say it so much now because of her. But yeah, like this book is just about it starts off with the incident and then what leads from that. She has said that it is all about the journey to healing herself. And it's not like a romance. She's a sucker for a romance book, but it's not a romance book. She is in a relationship now, but it ends before you even meet Tommy. So it's not about that. It's about her. And it's not your typical like biography, I guess. But anyway, highly recommend. I believe that you can get them internationally through Emma's Instagram and like links and stuff there. But if anyone is interested, let me know. I'll just show you like it. I don't really see very many photos in books anymore. Anyway, so just so you can see, like, that's where the incident happened and that's her back there now. So like it is a positive, happy outcome story. But yeah, anyway, book recommendation, highly recommend. And just maybe chucking Emma a follow because she's so chill and so nice to watch. Okay. Also, I forget that I'm part of Fabric of the Month clubs, and then all of a sudden I get like a bulk order of them. I'm just going to show those while I've got them in front of me. So I get Fibrelicious Yummy Fibres 32 count linen in a fat quarter. I was getting some 40. I've managed to change it to 32. Gwen's Fabric of the Month is my favorite one. I've actually got my fabric container in front of me, which is an absolute shambles. And there's Color and Cotton, and there's Under the Sea Fabrics. But I think I'm going to end up weaning them back and probably only continuing on with Fibrelicious. I just think like the arrangement of colors, I look at these ones more and I think they're very pretty for Bellas and Mirrors and Noras and all that. But I could also use them as monochrome ones. Maybe I've got enough going in my stash as well. Anyway, so eventually I will cut back, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it, and it surprises me when it receives, like I pay for them, but it just surprises me when they rock up. So this is July's Summer Soiree. I think I said that right. And I was just fiddling around with it and saw that there's some green and stuff in it. So it's kind of like these peachy kind of pinks and greens. So that's pretty. And then this is August's I Lilac You A Lot. Pretty self-explanatory. Again, there's a little bit of green. So that's really cute. And then this will probably have to be my favorite. Don't know what I'd ever stitch on it unless something Hawaiian came out. Sweet Sunset Lantana. Sunset Lantana. So that's September's. So I love that. That's very bright. I actually have another one that I can see. I think that's the color Cascade. Sorry. Okay. So I have 2 new starts, one being a Finish for Now or an FFN, which if you've been playing along, you'll probably assume or guess, and you'd be correct, that that is the Dark Queen of the Earth. Yay! Another new start, and then I've got 3 WIPs to show. So let's just cut straight to the piece de resistance, which is Dark Queen of the Earth. So this is part 1. I'll show you the stitching first. So this is she. That lighter color, the whitey gold, is Petite Treasure Braid Silk Lame. I don't know how to say that. Silk Lame is how I've been saying it. And my stitches are horrendous with it. They are just so terrible, but whatever. You're probably not going to be able to tell when it's, you know, this far away and the whole thing stitched. And I am doing this on matching fabric to the Dark Queen of the Sea. Matching in that this is 32 count Opal Lugana, and I did Dark Queen of the Sea on 32 count Opal Lugana, and it is Nightshade. So this is one of the 2 called for fabrics from Under the Sea Fabrics. I got my fabric and specialty threads and beads from Leslie. It's obviously Dark Queen of the Sea is designed by Aaron and Cassandra of Autumn Lane Stitchery, and then it's in collaboration with Leslie, I think for creative ideas, but mainly like the fabric and supplies. So I'm not sure if you can actually see all the glitter. Maybe there you can. Anyway, it is hectically blingy. So that's fun. Part 2 comes out tomorrow. Today. Well, today's the 1st, and it normally comes out at like 2, 3 a.m. Australian time on the 2nd. So tomorrow. So I'll be stitching that next week because I won't have time tomorrow. So that's exciting. I love that the beads. Sorry, I should have been more prepared. What I hadn't realized, so this is the bead pack that comes from Leslie. And I'm sorry for the crinkles. Sorry. it's like elemental beads. Like they're wooden beads. That I think is so cool. So cool. And I'm really scared to stitch with them because I struggled with the other beads, but it should be okay. So like, wood. So cool. So I'm very excited to see how she'll look. Still hoping for like Dark Queen of Fire. That will probably be my favorite. We'll see. This was the bag designed by Aaron that was part of the Black Needle Society, one of the boxes, but I think Cozy Stitching, but I got it in the vault. It is no longer available, but I thought it was quite fitting. Autumn Lane Stitchery designed the bag and somewhat like elemental. So that's that. And then my other new start is because thread finally came in that's been back ordered for 12 months. And it is, sorry about the thread, a very, very, very small start, but it is a start on Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Mathews. And I am stitching it on a 38 count number 12 stitch co-linen. I don't have the tag on here, so I don't actually remember what it is, but I've been saving this piece for it since I first got that chart, and put the thread order through. So I'll pop the details of what name of fabric it actually is in the description below. But it is the called for MPI silks. I was waiting on the white and green to arrive, so obviously this is the blue version. It's quite like a blue gray, but it is still very that's pretty accurate actually of its color. I'm just not sure if I'm loving the coverage of the snowflake. So that is I've just got to fill the inside, but that is the whole motif outline, and I'm just not sure if I'm loving the coverage. So I put a poll on my Instagram story last night asking if you would stitch on 38 count using MPI silks using one strand or two strands. Unanimously came back as one strand, and I was a bit torn because I like 36 count to have two threads and for 40 count to have one. I do think it makes 40 count quite dainty, and so I figured it would be in the middle. And sometimes two threads on 36 can feel quite chunky, but I do like a thicker coverage, like, you know, if it was like a full coverage or something like that. Yeah, but I think because they're white stitches and it's very thin, I'm not sure if I'm gonna want to go back over it and do it again with the second strand and then continue on with a second strand. But I figured I might just finish off this whole motif because the infill of it is pretty much full coverage. It's like a good block of snowflake, so I thought that would be a good place to check it and see if I do like the coverage. And then I'll make a decision. So that's my project tonight or tomorrow, depending on when this migraine goes away. But yeah, so this is now the third Quaker from Liz Mathews that I have started. I've finished Quaker Pumpkins. Yes, Quaker Pumpkins. I've got to start on Quaker Garden and now Quaker Snowflakes. So this one says Glad Tidings at the bottom, and I will be changing that too. I'll keep it all the same otherwise with the trees and the bird that are in here and the colors, etc. But it says Glad Tidings. So I'm thinking, I thought originally I was going to do something like snow falling. Oh, no, that's very silly. Sorry, winter snow, I think is what I was going to do. And I was just going to use one of the other Liz Mathews, probably like this one up here, like one of the other typography pieces from Liz Mathews. And yeah, I was gonna do winter snow because obviously in Australia, summer is Christmas, not winter. So yeah, this is me continuing on with Hello Quaker SAL, which I started with Evelyn from Evelyn Across the Pond when we started stitching Quaker pumpkins. Given that we figured Liz Mathews already has 2 seasonal Quakers, that there would be more, and there has been another one released, which is Quaker Gardens, and Liz has mentioned that there will be more in, not like a series, but you know, just like a Liz Mathews thing. So if you're stitching or using that hashtag, tag me. I'd love to see what you're working on, and you know, if you're making any changes, or if you've got any tips for me on changes to make them a bit more Southern Hemisphere friendly, let me know. But yeah, that one actually proved to be quite hard to start stitching earlier today, and I think that's when I realized that this migraine was coming on, so that's probably why my eyes are very sore. And then in this shipment of MPI silks was a bunch of stuff that I had on back order at JK's Cross Stitch. I think there's like still, Jeanette and I were going through it, I think there's still 3 back orders that I've got there. One of them is still fabric for me to start when I get it eventually. Sakura by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I'm so keen to start that. I got everything else. I just don't have the fabric. I went for the called for, I think it's Picture This Plus. And when I put that order through, that was when like everything went to shit with Picture This Plus, like expected completion dates, let alone shipping dates. So I've been waiting for that for about 18 months now. Yay. But I managed to get in, part of that was the MPI silks, and then there was a couple of other overdyes. I think this is a Classic Colorworks that came in. So I was able to put in another color into my Coffee Addict, I think it's Sampler. Anyway, it's by Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. And so this is what it looks like. And the color that I put in is what the birds are filled with. And I think it's caramel corn. It's what the birds are filled with. It is the steam above the coffee cups. And then it is just a bunch of the coffee beans down the bottom and the top. So I am stitching this on a 40 count frozen linen, which is from Forbidden Fibre Co. because it's from the Gilmore Girls, the Gilmore Girls box that Leanne did. That I brought at the start of, I don't know, last year, I think. And I'm using all the called for colors on that one. 1 strand of thread over 2. And the needle minder is from Twin Mummy Co., which was also in the box from Forbidden Fibre Co. So 1 more color and then that can finally be finished. And I think I'm going to attempt a pillow finish. So Alexis, I will be coming to you for help. I think I'd like that one as a little pillow on my desk next to like my little pen holder, duper wacky thing. And then, so, oh, this is really messy. I think I did all of this after my last video. I'm pretty sure this was, I finished the video, I went and sat down and I had like the F1s and the footy on, and I did this. So this is Eye Candy by Carissa Rose, which is my full coverage piece. Artwork is by Carissa Rose, but the chart is charted and distributed by Gecko Rouge in the UK, all licensed, etc. It's a full kit. I think what happened was after my last video, I actually changed the Q-snap to not my makeshift dodgy broken one from Spotlight and Tim's 3D printer, which just didn't have enough stability to hold such a big boy. So I changed the frame over. I think it's a 17 by 11 now is what I've got it as. Or is it a 14? Might be 11 by 14 Q-snap arrangement. With that, I had a bunch of like spare strands and threads and stuff down here. So I started off by finishing all those off. And then I worked a lot on the eye and the lashes here. So I think I did all of this purple color all down here. And then I did this whole block. So I filled in the rest of this join of the eye. And now like this is all solid color. And I just kept going until I ran out of the thread that I was on. Clearly, I've stopped it mid everything. I think I stopped this when I got the Dark Queen package, so that's why it's a bit of a shambles. But I think I'm going to keep going with one bit of color, one bit of eye, one bit of color, one bit of eye. Especially when it gets to like the eyelashes, they're just all over the place everywhere, and I don't think you can see it, but I don't want to be traveling black and dark colored stitches as much as I probably would if it was white. So we'll see. I'm getting there. Very slowly. It will be done one day. It definitely won't be done this year, but it will be done one day. And then lastly, again, I forgot to trim things off. My goodness, I'm a mess. I decided to pull out Luna Mystica. I went on a bit of a mermaid, pretty lady rampage after Dark Queen. So here is Luna Mystica. I'm stitching her on a color Cascade fabric. I think it's a 32 count Lugana as well. I don't know the colorway off the top of my head, but I have it in the bag, so I can pop it in the description. I actually think I picked it up off someone's D-stash off Marketplace or in one of the Australian Facebook groups. But this time around, I was working on all of this petite treasure braid. So bulk of this tail is all shimmery deliciousness, which I'm sure you probably can't see. And then the bottom here will all be beads. So I'm just trying to work on that, and then it actually fills up the tail and kind of fills in all of this extra space until it gets to beads. So that's my next project, is filling in this whole bit, and then I want to actually start on the droopy bits hanging off the tail before I get to the big moon, which I think from what I've seen when I've looked at the chart coordinations is that most of that is beads and I think Chronic and Petite Treasure Braid. And I think there's also some water lilies. I don't think very much of it is DMC, which is going to be fun, but that's okay. So she's so pretty. I've got a couple of fabrics that I was looking at before that originally when I started Luna Mystica, I wanted to do Sol Tropica as like, not like a mirrored piece, but like a sister piece. Like I wanted them on similar styles of fabric. Obviously they're not going to be the same fabric because Sol Tropica has a green background and I like that. I think it lends to it really well as charted. But I wanted them to be both very, like if one was really neon, then the other one be really neon, or like if they're both subdued. Well, I can't have one that's going to be glitter and one that's not, but there's, sorry for the crinkles. This is Eudore, E-U-D-O-R-E. I don't know, but this is an Under the Sea Fabrics linen and it's a 32 count. No, it's not. It's a 36 count. Okay, so that won't work, so scrap that. I thought that could be a good color, but then like they're not very similar, like very bright, but lends to it well. All right, I give up. I need to organize my fabric container. It's probably the biggest task I need to get done. Okay, that's everything from me. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead because I already know that I've been rambling and not looking at the camera, and I'm really sorry. But I wanted to see you all and say hello and check in, and I will try and get another update towards the end of October. But I'm not locking anything in. Anyway, I hope you're all well. We've got a beautiful Melbourne sunshine day here for spring. Everything is blooming. My hay fever is starting to go crazy, but I'm loving the weather, being able to get outside and just enjoy life in all of its busyness at the moment. I hope you're all doing well, that everything's all okay where you are. I know that there's been a few crazy things with Mother Nature in the last couple of days, so praying that everyone is all safe. And thanks for hanging out with me. Feel free to go over to my Instagram page, give me a follow there. I post there probably a lot more. I'm starting to get back into it a lot more as well. I think I went a little bit quiet, but yeah, I'm definitely always on there. And if you're not already, subscribe. I'd love you too, but up to you. I'm trying to get back into regular 2 to 3 week videos. I think this is a good place to start. So here's hoping that, yeah, you'll see me at the end of the month, which will be about 3-4 weeks time. I should have part 2 done. I should have more work on this. Who knows what else I'll have done by then. Let's hope there's a finish somewhere in there, but let's not get too crazy extravagant. I don't think I really finished very much this year. So who knows, maybe it'll end up being like a finish rush to the end of the year. Who knows? We're down for the ride. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye.